So I'm doing a bunch of research this morning, and something caught my attention with regards to the Fed and the Fed hike of 25 basis points. And I'm watching, obviously, CNBC, and lo and behold, this comes up. So I pause, I take a good look at it, and we know that the Fed cut 50 basis points in last September. They didn't meet in October. They cut again 25 basis points November, and they cut again 25 basis points in December. And the crazy part, I mean, and you guys just know that they just barely finally cut again in September. The question is, why did they stop? So you had the Fed pausing for 5 months. Now, more than that, they didn't meet in February. But the question is why did they stop when we know that the Fed said that tariffs is the reason why he stopped. And Donald Trump says politics is the reason why he stopped. He should have never stopped. Trump was like, look it, he wanted Biden to win the election. That's why he was doing Fed rate cuts. But as soon as I took over, he stopped. And then we know that the actual two tariffs, I don't think even took into effect until May. But he wasn't talking about that in January. So why did he pause? So then I went ahead and said, let's take a look at the numbers for the Fed. For the job cuts. And if you take a look at this, we can see here that yes, these are the third revisions. So these numbers are kind of late, but negative number here, and then it shows positive, positive, positive. And he's still cutting positive, positive, positive. My question is if these numbers over here are worse than these numbers over here, why did the Fed stop cutting? As a matter of fact, we were talking about Biden creating the most job growth ever. And after these revisions are done, and the Fed knows this, after these revisions are done, we're down negative 70,000 jobs over the year. And the Fed knows we're down negative 70,000 jobs, and yet he still decides to not cut. He still decides to say, hey, we're still not cutting, knowing that we were down negative jobs and knowing that the job numbers are looking bad. So I went ahead and took a look at the job numbers for last year. And right here's 2025. I scroll down and we look at 2024, right? Starts off positive, negative, negative. Now these are a little bit not fair, but the Fed, it's fair for the Fed because these are last year's numbers. So they got these numbers. I added these all up and we're down negative 70,000 jobs, and the Fed still took until September of this year to do its Fed cut. And which doesn't make any sense because if you go up to 2025, it's been nothing but negatives. And obviously Donald Trump's calling the Fed too late pal or something like that. But he has a strong case. Why would the Fed stop for 9 months when they knew they got the third revision data for 2024 and we were negative $70,000 jobs? That right there says we should have started or never stopped cutting the Fed funds interest rate. And then you get the job numbers for January, February, March, and we still haven't done a cut. And then finally he blames it on the tariffs, which the tariffs didn't even take effect until mid. Some say they haven't even taken any effect. Some say that we haven't seen any effect. And not only that, but we're gaining billions of dollars in tariff income. So, I dabbled in this a little bit throughout the year, but I never connected the dots. And to me, this is just abnormal. And again, we haven't hit the Fed funds rate of 2%. And it doesn't look like we're anywhere close to that. But with the negative jobs, the way that they are, I don't know why he ever stopped cutting.